Hi, Paige. How are you? See your little happy face over there. How are you doing? Hi, Mary. Oh, I'm glad you're here, hon. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. We're just gonna give a few minutes for people to sign on, and then we'll get started. So I hope everybody had a really good long weekend. Hope you did something fun. Um, Hopefully it didn't get rained out where you are. So I think we have some new people watching. So just for the new people, I just want to say, normally what I will do is I will post when I'm going live, and I will ask you to post or comment at the bottom. You know, hey, Michelle, read me, or post your question. And then what I usually do is the night before, I pull the names and the list, and I go through and I work on it. So that's why I usually close off the list the night before, sometimes the afternoon like I did today. So hi, I see some new people coming on. Hi guys. So Mary is with us again. She's my moderator, and so what Mary does is Mary moderates the context and the content of what people are writing. Oh, Mary, you just went shopping for fall decor. You have to post it once you do it, because I would love to see it. So anyways, so Mary's monitoring, and she will try and answer any questions that she sees come up if she can. And if not, she just passes them along to me, and I try and get back to you later. Also, she'll be posting information in between. Okay, but feel free to, post a comment, ask a question. If we don't get to it today, we'll get to it another day. We have quite a few readings to get through. So I'm just going to wait just another minute or two just to get a couple more people. So yeah, guys, so if you have any questions, right, just kind of post them. Okay, so Anne's asking how much is a reading. So Anne, actually right now, if normally a reading is anywhere between $65 and $85 for an hour, depending on if it's in person, meaning in person, or just one-on-one via Skype, Zoom, Facebook Messenger video. So tonight, if you're watching and you book, I think Mary's posting the information now. There's a special price for you if you're watching tonight and you book tonight and confirm your time for $40 an hour. So also next week I'll be doing readings at Quarry View, which is absolutely a beautiful place. If you guys haven't seen it, if you're local, check it out. They're having a craft and vendor fair. I'll be doing readings there. So I'm only doing like 15-minute readings, and we're doing 15-minute readings for $20. So it's just, quick, short little readings for you. So I'm going to get started because I think we have a few people. I think, yeah, you guys are on the list. So we'll get started. So Carolyn McKay. Carolyn, I was seeing, what is it that Carolyn needs to know today? And I just was getting this feeling of like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. So I feel like this is, something, somewhat of what you're feeling, the up and down, the roller coaster, and like zipping around. Like it's been hard for you to stay in one place. And I get this feeling of, you just really want to have things done, but you want them done right now. So there's a little bit of impatience with that. And it feels like, how do you want to handle this? Right? It also feels like there's a little bit of, I want to say, I don't want to call it anger because it's not anger, but it feels like a little bit of unsettledness with somebody. And, I think a lot of times you try to ignore the behavior because we always learn just kind of ignore what they're doing and it'll go away. And I think this is one of those instances where ignoring it just kind of makes it worse. So I want you to think about how you want to handle your interactions with this person, okay? How do I want to handle my interactions? It feels to me like this person's really upset and kind of mad at the world. It has nothing to do with you. This has to do with them. They're mad at the world. They're mad at themselves. And they don't seem like the type of person that wants to take responsibility for themselves. We run into that a lot, right? We talk about that a lot, about the people that have all these issues, and they'll gladly point out your problems, right? But they have their own, and they're unable to take responsibility for themselves. And they'll never heal. We don't heal if we don't take responsibility for what's bothering us, okay? So the other part of that is not holding your breath waiting for that to happen with that person, because it's not going to happen. I think eventually the person will be able to see, but it's going to take a lot of different experiences happening to them for them to realize, wow, why does this keep happening? Okay, so you're just going to have to kind of be patient with it. And, you know, just know it's not personal and kind of move away from it. Okay. And the other thing, Carolyn, too, you know, it's important to keep a balance in your life. And I feel like sometimes you focus too much in one area and then the other areas suffer. So I want you to just try and figure out where you need to refocus some of the attention. And I think on some level you already know this. You already know, right? You guys, we already know. We just don't listen to ourselves. We don't listen to that inner voice. So my goal is to get everybody to listen to that inner voice so that we kind of know and pay attention and honor and acknowledge however you want to put that, okay? And sometimes knowing what we have to do causes anxiety for us, right? So we get a little anxious about it. Just take a deep breath, refocus, and don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up for it, okay, if you're not able to focus on it just yet. Okay, let's do Amber Pelletier. Amber, I think that you had signed up for last time and I missed you, so I apologize for that. Guys, I try really hard to get everybody who signs up. Sometimes I have up to 60 people that sign up, and I try to do everybody. So I want you to understand that a lot of people would not try and do everybody, okay? They would, you know, pick 2 or 3 people, but I actually do try to do everybody because I feel like, you know, if somebody's asking for a reading, there's a reason they're asking. They want some information, they want something. So that's where I try and focus, okay? All right, so Amber, yeah, I get that it's been kind of trying for you lately. You know, there's been a lot of stuff going on, and I keep hearing I'm biting my tongue. And I'm biting my tongue, and I feel like I'm going to bite it in half if I bite it any harder, right? But there's so many things that you want to say, but you're trying not to step on any toes, right? And not make anything worse. And it feels like this situation it's out of your control to begin with, but it impacts you, right? So sometimes, a lot of times, things happen to us that we can't control, but we can control how we react to it, right? So it feels like, you know, they ask you for your thoughts and opinions all the time. Like they might always be saying, so what do I do about this? What do I do? Or, you know, what should I do? Where do I go? And I feel like it's very tiring for you, right? Because for you, it's easy to see the answers. And that's the same for any of us, right? When we're on the outside, it's easy for us to look at something, look at a situation and say, you know, well, why can't they just do this? Or why don't they just do that? And we have to remember that people are not here to do what we say, right? They're here for their own lessons, and they have their own path and their own journey. Sometimes if we step in, we're not allowing them to learn the lesson. That's what you would say, like, as an enabler, right? I'm not saying don't help people, but there's some situations where when we keep repetitively jumping in and helping, we're not allowing that person to learn their lesson and continue forward on their life path. So we kind of keep them in their space, you know, in that space, and they're kind of spinning their wheels. But just know that you're feeling that frustration because you care so much and because you care about this person. But it's going to get better soon. But again, that person has to get to that point where they're ready to accept that on their own. Okay. Who's the next person that I have? I have Darlene Hoadley. So Darlene, this is like I was picking up a male figure for you, hun. I'm not sure if this is it feels like very protective to me. It feels like very protective, okay? And it feels like you've been kind of saying to yourself, you know, I just don't even know where I'm at right now, okay? So I feel like you're processing a lot of different things, almost to the point where you feel like you lost a part of yourself. But you know what? You haven't. It's still there. You've just been kind of pushing it down, okay? Someone sidetracked you, okay? And through experience, you know, you lost a piece of yourself, but it's not gone. So we have to remember that. Just because we feel different, or, you know, we feel like a part of us is gone, or, you know, we can't get it back, it's still there. We just have to kind of sit back and reconnect with ourselves, which a lot of us aren't doing that lately. So I also get the strong scent of roses for you. I'm not sure who who liked the roses, if they're for you. But they talk about the red roses, very strong, so it's like tons of roses. And I hear renewal around you. So I feel like this is a time after all, going through all of this, it's time for you to renew yourself. And I think you're feeling that you want to, but you're just not quite really sure where to begin. But just remember, guys, when we have that feeling, that's our soul, right? That's our soul telling us that it's time to put aside some of our fears and, anything that's holding us back, and to start taking some chances. And, I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming, and I just want you to push yourself to maybe do one or two of them and see how you feel, right? We always talk about how we don't have to do everything all at once. Small steps, baby steps, right? And don't overdo it, but try to have some fun with others. So, I can't see all the comments. I apologize. I wish I have to get a good setup so I can read the comments. But if you guys are just joining, hi. Thank you for joining. I know it was short notice. Let's see. Who do we have next? So Jennifer Deal. So Jennifer, I hope you're watching, but Jennifer is also one of the girls who took my mentor class. So I always feel funny reading her or Mary because like they have such a gift themselves. And so when I do a reading for them, I always feel like, you guys know this. You guys know this. But Jennifer, I get a lot of movement for you lately. And I get that there's something that's not feeling quite right for you. And it feels like something that's around you, but not necessarily coming from you directly, if that makes sense. So I feel like you've been somewhere recently where you felt like a deep connection. Okay. And I don't know if you feel like it kind of followed you or that connection has stayed with you. Okay. It's something that really impacted you. And, I also feel like there's something very childlike around you, and they feel very safe with you. And I want you to be aware, and I know you know this. I know you know about the toolbox of protection, right? So you know how to protect yourself. And I feel like this connection also comes because you have been feeling very motherly lately, and that's where your connection is being made. So yeah, and let me know if that makes sense to you, Jennifer, because we could always talk offline if we had to. But I just felt like there was a lot of movement for you lately. Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking to see. Hi, Keeler. Hi, Robin. Hi, Ann tomorrow. I think you're new, right? Welcome to anybody who's new watching. And let's see. I know that I want it to. I know I don't want to say who it is, but I know one of my friends is battling or was battling COVID, so I just want to wish her well, and I'm glad to see that she's well enough to tune in. Okay, let's do Jeremy Quinn. So Jeremy, I need to ask you, what have you been holding off on lately? Okay, because it's not, I'm not really clear on what it is, but it's like you're telling yourself that, you know what, I have to keep walking the walk, and I say that quite a bit, right? You need to walk the walk, right? And I feel like this might have something to do with your business, your business that you started, because I feel like it's, it's imperative that not only do you teach what you teach, right? You teach fitness and all that, but you also have to walk the walk because you have to show people, right? But I also want you to know that, I know you're trying to change some things. I feel like there's a lot of encouragement that you need a lot of encouragement right now, that you need to encourage yourself to keep going forward, and you're not getting a lot of support or encouragement where you are. Okay, so I want to be clear on that, because I was trying to think of how to word that, because what I was picking up was you're doing very well, you're helping people, but when it comes to you, you're not getting the encouragement that you need to kind of keep going and keep thriving. Know that even though, sorry, somebody just messaged and it popped down. Know that even though they're not encouraging you, right? They're watching you, right? We always say that. And I think there's some kind of a saying about people won't encourage us, but they'll watch us, right? They'll watch and see what we do. So that's what I just want you to remember, that they're watching. And I don't think they're going to kind of jump on board with the compliments right away, but eventually there will come a day when they will come to you and say, you know what, Jeremy, I've watched you start from the beginning and you're just really doing really great. And And I don't want you to let their lack of enthusiasm slow you down from what you're doing. Keep going forward. You know, it's just, you have to remember it's where they are in their lives. And a lot of times people can't meet us where we are because they're not there yet. Okay. Anyways, sorry guys, I need my caffeine. Got my caffeine. Anyways, let's go to Paige Elaine. I know Paige is watching. Paige, I was getting just overwhelmed. Oh, here comes the dog. He's going to come say hi, I think. I was getting overwhelmed with, it felt like a big wave coming over me. Okay, so I felt like, you know, this is kind of like something you feel it's kind of coming, almost like coming for you. Not in a negative way, but just you feel like something's coming. Okay, and you're afraid you're going to kind of get swept up in the situation. So I want you to think about that. What situation is this referring to? And, you know, it doesn't feel bad. Is it, you know, is this like a relationship or is this like a job situation? But it feels like it's like right there. Okay. And I feel in some ways it's kind of exciting for you because you kind of want to get swept up in something, almost like, you know, it's been such a long time since, things have kind of progressed for you. So now it's like, okay, here it is. But I'm being told that you need to take it down just a little bit. And it's okay to be happy and excited, but you've been neglecting other things because of this feeling and being kind of swept up in it. So I want you to allow yourself some space, right, from the situation. Refocus and pay attention to the things that you've been ignoring. And when I say the things you've been ignoring, it's probably, it feels more like it's about yourself, the things you're ignoring that for yourself that you like to do. Okay? Let's do Diana. Oh, Diana. What is your last name? Ray? Is that how you say it? R-E-A? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not good with names sometimes. So, you guys, sometimes when we're communicating or getting messages, right, a lot of it is symbolic. Okay, so they talk to us in symbolism, semantics, right? We've talked about a few different ways that they communicate. Music, you know, sometimes we hear, but we don't always hear clearly. So what was coming up for me was creepy crawly things, like little bugs. Okay, so I don't want to freak out about that because the way I took it was symbolically that what is, Milo, honey, come here. What is bugging you? Okay, like what's bugging you? Little annoyances around you. It feels like, you know, these things all of a sudden have come out of the woodwork for you. That it might be something that wasn't bothering you before, but all of a sudden you're noticing that, like, oh my God, you know, and it's really bothering you. It could be people or situations. The funny thing is in reality, they've been there all along. You just didn't notice them. And I feel like there's something that triggered this for you. Whether it's something, it feels like there's something kind of emotional going on for you. So it's kind of put everything, all your nerves, right? Your nerves are all like, what do they call it? Oh God, guys, I'm sorry. I'm like, like you're just on edge. Okay, like you're crawling out of your skin. So just take a moment and think about that, though. What's possibly changed to allow them to come out and start bugging you? And is it something you said, or, you know, I just want you to think about what it is and where it came from, because I think once you do that, it'll calm down and it's not going to bother you as much as it does. Okay. Let's see. We have Cindy Romano. Okay, so Cindy, I think this is the first time I've read for you, hon. So, I just get that you're surrounded by so many people, so many loving people. I feel like you've had a lot of loss in your life, and it feels like it's been in the past couple of years that there's been like kind of a lot of loss for you. And I don't want you to get discouraged because some people are not seeing or acknowledging what you're going through or what you feel you're going through, right? The important thing is that you're aware of it, okay? Because we don't want to get so stuck in our head, because we know what happens when we get stuck in our head, right? Everything seems worse and everything just seems to multiply in our head, and we can create scenarios that aren't even going to happen. So I think it's really important that you know your truth and you stand firm in it. okay? It's okay if people don't understand what you're going through, okay? They may not ever, but you have to be able to take care of yourself and let yourself, you know, work through it, because the only way to get over it is to work through it. And yeah, it's painful. Yeah, going through stuff is messy, but once you do it, you come out the other side of the tunnel, right? And it's brighter, and you're smarter and better, and things are good. Okay. And you know, one thing I want to say too is that I feel bad for people who don't take a look at themselves, right? Because they're not trying to make themselves better. So they're always going to be stuck in that situation. And we know people like that, right? That just don't want to take a look at themselves. Part of it is because they're afraid. And some of it is because they're stuck in their own ways that, you know that to get better, you have to change. And sometimes people just don't want to change. I don't want to change. It's just the way I am, right? That's what they say. And those people are the ones that won't change. Okay. Let's see. Hope Bauer? I think it's Hope Bauer. Okay, Hope. So, I heard the word angst. Okay? I don't hear that word often, but when I do, I know that there's something troubling somebody. Because angst, right? If you look it up, it means torment, anxiety, worry, sorrow. So my question to you is, what is causing this in your life right now? Because for the amount of angst that you're feeling, I don't get that there's anyone in the world worth this amount of sorrow and anxiety, torment, or worry. So I feel like this is being caused by a person. The opposite is what? Calm and happy, and how do we get you to that place? How do we get you from angst to calm and happy? So first, again, we need to identify the problem, whether it be a person or a situation, and you have to ask yourself, is there anything you can do about it? Is it out of your control? Can you walk away? And think of how you want to handle that, and then make a plan for yourself, right? And don't go backwards. Take the steps necessary to move forward. And don't allow this to continue for yourself, please, okay? Because don't get comfortable with this feeling. It's not healthy for you. So I think I saw Samuel sign on. Hi, Samuel. Actually, I think you are on here. So we'll get to you. Amy Lestrina. Okay, so Amy. I wanted to know, Amy, there's like a negative feeling, negative energy. And, I want you to be aware of it and what it's trying to do, because there's a lot of negative in the world. And that's why we learn about the different ways negative energy presents itself to us, right? And how to be aware of it and how it's impacting us. Because negative energy and negative people, what's their goal? Their goal is to defeat us, right? They want to defeat us. But it doesn't always come all at once. It comes in stages. So it's almost like that saying about the frog in the hot water. You put the frog in the cold water, he doesn't do anything, and you slowly turn the heat up, and then he doesn't even realize it. So it's kind of like that same thing. The negative starts little by little by little until you're being so inundated with negativity, you don't even realize it because you're just accepting it. So the more you become aware of the stages, you can jump into action, right? Before it gets to a bad point. And we're all vulnerable to this. It could happen to any of us. There are some times when we are more vulnerable than others. And that's the part of the process of wearing us down to defeat. So, again, I like to say my toolbox of protection, whatever that is for you. And make sure you're using it. Make sure you're protecting yourself and your energy. Okay? Amy, if there was something else you wanted to kind of talk about, you can message me and let me know what it was. I know you had some specific questions, so we could always address that. A Hope Hour. Let's do Vanessa Glon. So Vanessa, I'm getting, this is another thing that's kind of symbolic, right? Because I'm getting something about the car and the wheels just kind of spinning. Okay, so what does the car represent? The car represents usually where we're going, movement or going forward. And if it's not a literal car that we're talking about, then we're talking about it symbolically. So I have to ask you, where is it that you feel you're not moving forward in your life? Because it seems like it's impacting you on on a few different levels. And this feeling of not moving forward and spinning your wheels, just remember that this is temporary, and that sometimes if we think we're spinning our wheels, the best thing to do is what? To kind of just stop, right? Because you're spinning your wheels, you're just digging it deeper. So, you know, just stop, because we don't want to get so tired that we burn ourselves out, because that will happen too. And sometimes just stopping for that little bit of time and then going back to it, there's a little shift forward, right? And once that shift happens, we get that big movement that we want. So that's what you want to do. Let's see. And then also I was getting for you, hun, like that lost feeling of like, where did it all go? And, you know, is it that you're feeling like time is kind of slipping away quickly for you? And I just get like this feeling of like drifting the last couple of weeks and not really knowing what to focus on. And we all get like that, right? We all get like that sometimes. Those are the days we have to be kind to ourselves and not get upset. You know, and don't fill your head with the I shoulds, right? I should be doing this, I should be doing that. You know, change your shoulds to coulds, okay? And just know that you're in great company from the other side. Let's see, let's do Nancy Gaspar. Okay, so Nancy, I was getting, it's funny because this came up one other time for somebody, and it was interesting because I gave them my interpretation of it, and then they messaged me afterwards and told me, I totally get it. She says, I don't agree with your interpretation, but this is my interpretation of it. And so it's funny, and that's always the way. You know, if you guys, when I interpret something for you, if there's something more to it that I don't get, I love to hear about it, you know, because again, this is all interpretation. This is reading the symbols, getting the messages, and I count on you guys to kind of help me figure it out. So, all right. So Nancy, this is like a male figure. It feels like grandpa to me. But he's talking about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I laugh when they say that, because I'm thinking, okay, that is like such an old-fashioned, right, statement and logic. So what is he trying to tell me? You know, is he saying that things are kind of murky for you right now, right? Because they used to say that the bathwater would get so dirty that people would throw the water out and the baby would be in it. They wouldn't know because the water was so murky or dirty. So where is this happening in your life? And it feels really like, you know, it's kind of murky. Like I don't really know what's below. And it feels like you're kind of swimming in it, staying afloat, but it's so murky that you're worried about what it is that you're not seeing. So totally all symbolic, right? What am I not seeing? I think that, you know, is this how you're feeling about a person or a situation? I tend to think that this is about a person, okay? And maybe the situation, you know, maybe you have to give it a little bit of time to clear itself, okay? And it doesn't mean forever. It means set a boundary, right? A time limit, maybe, that you allow this person to work on the situation, and then you figure out what you need to do. It's really hard when a situation or someone is not being clear with us, right? So it's important for you to set your boundary. Like, okay, this is going on. It's a little bit murky. It's not clear. I can be in this unknown situation for only so long before it's going to start to drive me crazy. So, you know, I'm going to give this person maybe 3 months to figure out what they need to do. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on myself so that when the person figures out what they need, you know, I'm in a good place. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's do Brianna DeRosa. Okay. So, okay. Brianna, I need to ask you, who are you not letting learn their lesson? And this kind of goes back to I forget whose reading it was, but it kind of goes back to kind of sitting back and letting somebody learn the lessons they need to learn, right? Okay, so I need to know, who are you not letting learn their lesson in life? And I get this anxiety. And I think the anxiety is coming from you. But I feel like you're walking behind this person, picking up, right, all the pieces, fixing things as you go along. Everything that happens, you're like right there, picking up the pieces, you know, gluing things back together, whatever needs to be done, because you're so worried and you just don't want them to fall or fail, okay? And I keep hearing that you're not letting them learn their lesson because you keep saving them. And then in the long run, we're holding back their growth, right? We talked about that earlier. You're keeping them from growing and realizing something about themselves. And that doesn't mean that we don't help people, right? It doesn't mean that we don't help people. Just like when we say, when we understand where somebody's coming from, we're not saying their behavior is okay. We're not condoning it, but we're learning how to accept it so that we know how we have to react. So maybe change the way you help this person, and maybe it becomes more of giving guidance on how they fix something instead of jumping in and fixing it for them, cleaning up the messes for them. And that's so hard to do with our loved ones, right? And especially our children. Our kids bring up deep emotions, and we want the best for them, right? But again, our children are lent to us for a period of time, and they're here to live their own lives and walk their own paths. The other part of that is not to feel like you're doing anything wrong by allowing them to learn their lessons no matter who it is, right? Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let's do Beverly Herman Ayler. Okay. Okay. So Beverly, this is one of those things where I feel like you're kind of bending and twisting, and I'm using, symbolism here, bending and twisting and kind of contorting yourself to fit into this box, okay? And I feel like it's this box that you're not even sure you even want to be in, okay? And we do this all the time because we feel like, we have to do this. I want you to take a step back and look at the situation for what it really is, okay? Don't romanticize it. Don't make excuses. Take a step back and really look and see, is this something or a situation that I really want to be in? Because look at how much damage you're doing to yourself trying to fit in, okay? And it doesn't even feel like you're really happy doing it. I want to see you be you and let yourself shine, okay? Your gifts and your talents are needed in this world, no matter how big or how small, and there's nothing insignificant. And I think you need to focus on that and let that guide you, okay? Again, does it mean you have to end anything, right? I always tell you guys, no, it doesn't mean you have to end a relationship or end, a friendship with somebody. It just means you have to kind of look at yourself and see, what parts of myself am I hiding and why am I hiding that? Am I hiding it because of the situation or the person? Do I not feel safe? It's okay to try and heal things with people, and that's what I recommend that first. Always try and heal something first. But then if it's really getting to you and really making you unhappy or miserable, then sometimes we have to cut ties, right? And Mary, our moderator, is excellent at doing that. If anybody's interested in having the cord cutting done, Mary still wants some practice on that, so she's really good with that. So let's do Linda Cazell. Okay, Linda, I just get you're exhausted, that you're just kind of multitasking. I just get exhausted, and that this has been like a rocky road for you. Sometimes our path from A to B isn't always easy. But in between, we have so much that we can learn, right? We can learn and better ourselves while we're going from A to B. A to C, sorry. So I don't want you to give up, but I want you to stop keeping yourself busy. And I think you know what I mean by that, right? I'm not saying stop doing, I'm saying don't keep yourself so busy, because I feel like you keep yourself busy because you're afraid of the quiet, okay? And I know it could be scary sometimes to sit in silence, but again, there's beauty in the silence, and we have to remember that. There's beauty in the silence. We just have to pay attention. I get a strong male figure coming through for you also, Linda, and I keep hearing my mind is free now. I'm not suffering anymore. I get the feeling of being upset, not really knowing what was going on. But he's saying that he wants you to remember him by the happy memories. And he also says, don't dwell on my ending. He says, because I know it was painful for you, but my experience was different. Okay? And we talk about that again sometimes, about how we're so focused on the physical body. We see somebody passing away, we're focused on the physical body shutting down, and we have a really hard time separating the physical from the spiritual, knowing that the spiritual has already passed, and that it's just the physical body still there, okay? And I think you struggle with that for him, hon. And, you know, that's why he's adamant when he says that he's okay. And he says that he tries to let you know that he's still around. But I feel like you already know this. So, let me see. We have a couple more. Let's do Martha Fairbanks. Martha, I hope you're watching. Okay, let's do Martha. Martha, I kept hearing for you, you know, tell her I'm not gone. Tell her I'm not gone. And they're still here. And they keep saying to me that the way you communicate will be different, but you still can. Okay? And this is your son who passed away, I believe. I believe it's your son who passed. Because he says, I'm no longer limited by my body, and I'm able to comfort you because I know you still need me in your life. And I need you to believe that all those times you thought it was me, that it was. And it's important for you to know that you're not alone, because he says you've been feeling alone lately. And they're with family, and they were guided by family, and they're all together. So, Martha, I hope that makes sense to you. And if you want to talk about that a little bit more, we can. Let's do Samuel. Samuel Pride. I think you're watching. I think I saw your name roll by earlier. Yeah, I kept getting... You're getting kind of impatient. I want it now. And you've always been very good at being patient and kind of knowing that, you know, the universe, God, was taking care of things for you. But I think you need to know that things are starting to line up and that you can't rush it, because you're not going to be ready, and you're going to miss some of the most important steps. And for you, that's growth. And I know you've been doing a lot of growth, a lot of work. And, you know... Again, it goes back to us being told, you know, be go-getters, go for it, you know. But then here I am saying, well, slow down a little bit. Don't be such a go-getter in this situation. Sit back and kind of let everything go naturally. So I think it's going to turn out correct for you, the way you want it. It's going to turn out the way you want it to. I think you just have to be a little bit patient. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have? Let's see. Let's do, who did I miss? Sorry guys, I feel like I've been going at warp speed today between work and everything. Oh, let's do Lisa Laudadio. Okay, let's do Lisa. Okay, Lisa, okay. I had a couple things for you, Lisa. So the first thing I got was, you're another one that's wanting answers, and you're kind of wanting them right now. Okay. You need to remember that sometimes things aren't revealed to us all at once, and there's a reason for that. Sometimes it's not revealed to us all at once because, you know, the universe kind of knows we can't handle it all at once, right? So it kind of doles it out to us so we have time to absorb everything and accept it. You know, I think if it was to be revealed to you in one big, you know, kind of bombshell, that it would be a lot for you to handle. So the important thing is to realize that this is for your own good. And we all have to realize that when things don't always come to us, it's for our own good. Sometimes we find out information that's upsetting. But think about how more detrimental that would be if you didn't find out. So I guess I'm trying to tell you to look at the silver lining in this, you know. Yeah, it feels terrible right now that you have to kind of wait for all this, but there's a silver lining to it. And if we can learn lessons without suffering, then, you know, that's a good thing. That's what the universe wants for us. They don't want us to suffer. And learn to trust your gut. Okay. Let's see. And sorry. That was that. And oh, I had gotten a question too. Sorry guys, I wanted to answer a question. Somebody was asking me about music and when the song comes on. So you keep hearing the same song over and over again, right? And you wanted to know, you know, why does that keep happening? Is that a sign? I take it as a sign, absolutely, because when the same song comes over and over on the radio, take a minute and listen to it. Listen to the words, the timing of it. Sometimes the song will come on. Now, you guys know the story. For me, it's Country Roads by John Denver with my dad. The timing of when that comes on is uncanny. I can't plan it. I can't explain it. You know, notice the part of the song that's stuck in your head, and then allow yourself to feel how this part of the song makes you feel. Your associations with that part of the song, you know, a person it reminds you of, a place you've traveled, a time in your life. And, you know, it's also like a song that they don't play all the time. It's not a, you know, popular song that's being played all the time. It's like pulled out of the corner of your memory, you know. So, you know, just pay attention to that. All right, let's see. I think I have everybody. I think I did everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, you know, Patricia Cronenberg. That's right. Sorry, Patricia. I didn't forget you. So, Patricia, I get... The first thing I got for you, Patricia, was I was getting a feeling of a lot of hope and a lot of... I kept hearing the word relief. So, I don't know. I know you've had some medical things going on, but I'm not sure if there's some kind of information that you've received lately that has kind of given you a little bit of relief. Because I just feel like there's been like a deep breath taken with you and just kind of like, okay, I can do this. And maybe that's just how you're feeling with everything, that, you know what, I can do this. I've got a little bit of control. Because I think that at first you didn't feel like you had a lot of control over what was happening, right? Not that we can control everything, but... you know, just controlling how you're reacting to it. So I also get a lot of positive energy for you going forward. Let's see. I feel like I missed somebody. I don't know. I hope I got everybody. Anyhow, we'll do this again. I'm going to post. I know it's a weeknight. It's kind of off. You know, I have a long day at work. But I am going to post tonight for the next live, which I'm going to try and do Saturday night, which I hope you guys can tune in. Make sure you comment, read me, or put your question, your comments, or your question. And I will close the list out on Friday, and then we'll do it for Saturday. So just make sure you guys do that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I see some people signing on asking if it's too late. The list closed this afternoon. I know this was last minute. I apologize. We're going to try and do this a little bit more regularly. It's just been a little bit hectic going back to work. You know, you guys know I was home for a long time, and going back to work has been a little bit of an adjustment for me. But I'm doing it, and dealing with some of the aftermath of all of that. So, but anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you got something from it. Please leave me a comment. Send me a message. Let me know what you thought. Let me know any questions that you have. And again, I don't need to know the answers to everything. When I say, you know, let me ask you this or let me ask you that, I'm not really asking you to tell me unless you want to share. It's not important that I know. It's important that you know. So just remember that. It's not important that I'm right or that I get the message. It's important that you get the message, because I may not always understand what I'm saying because it comes to me in different ways. Okay, so I'm done talking for tonight. All right, guys. Love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.